All right, welcome back. As we look a little bit more at Schoology, we previously had created a collection. Now let's go ahead and actually add some items to that collection. So the way we want to do that is up here you can see we have three different menus. We have Add Resources, which allows us to add specific items to this folder. We have the Share button, which allows us to share this with individual people. And we have the Options button, which allows us to rename or to delete a collection. Of course, renaming is pretty self-explanatory. Be careful if you hit delete collection because it will delete the entire bucket here, which may not be something you want to do if you were looking at simply housekeeping a few items. But what I want to show is one of the very first things that I tend to do when creating a collection here is I start using folders. And folders, of course, are great organizational things. So, for example, I can call this Unit 1. And I'm just going to go ahead and color code this. So for example, I'm going to call this Unit 1. And you'll see it creates me a folder here with the name Unit 1. I can, of course, do this for any other unit I want to do. So for example, if I want to create Unit 2, I could create Unit 2, so on and so forth, and it quickly adds that in there. Now, one of the nice things about Schoology is that I can then create additional organization structures. So for example, let's say I go into Unit 1 and I want to have different subsections. So for example, I maybe have two primary sections in a unit I'm going to talk about. So let's just say I'm going to have this be, I'm going to call it a unit called Adding Numbers, and I'm going to change this one to red to show that that is a subcolor. And I'm going to make another folder, let's do red, and call this one Subtracting Numbers. And you can see now I have two different folders here. And one of the cool things about this, if I go back up to my test collection, is when I were to actually open this up in a class, and we'll show that in a later video, is I can then come in here and actually organize this so you can see those individual ones. And I can even organize this further by let's just creating this a lesson. So let's say adding, let's just say single digit numbers. And let's go ahead and give this a different color. We had already blue, we did red. Let's go ahead and make this one black. All right. And so now we have this in here. And you can, of course, don't have to have that. You can, of course, also do numbers. So I can do like lesson 1, adding single-digit numbers, however you want to organize this as well. And so that gives you a whole bunch of control over organization when you're creating your collections.